Hello there, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grade 11 Practical Research 1 students. We are in Literature Review. I'm Dr. Annabeth Lopez. Expectations. Again, find comfortable place, ready your notebook, and submit your output through your Practical Research notebook. And then our goal is to present literature review. How do we present it? Using synthesized information from relevant literature. So, can you provide information on the table? Use the research abstracts below as your source of information. Write your answers on your notebook. So, gagawa kayo nito sa inyong notebook, the title, the author, the year, type, publication, findings, and conclusions. So, whenever you find a book, meron kayong nabasa, aklat, thesis, dissertation, article, journals, even blogs, or even whatever that um you have read as part of your literature review, write on the title and then the name of the author, year, type, publication, findings, and conclusion. So to understand this, for example, this is the one I have read. This is a thesis. So gauging the ICT-based teaching readiness of pre-service teachers in the light of 21st century education. That's the title by Dexter M. Balahaja, PhD. He's the author and was published right on 2015 under the International Journal of Social Sciences. Here is the abstract. This triangulation study assessed pre-service teachers of their readiness to functionally utilize information and communication technology based teaching strategies and techniques as corroborated with new graduates' related experiences. This study ultimately revealed that the educational technology course experiences were not responsive enough to capacitate pre-service teachers to enact ICT-based strategies towards functional learning of their future students. They generally believe that their knowledge, potentials, and skills were not adequate to maximize ICT in designing and implementing curricular programs when they become full-fledged teachers despite their positive views on the benefits of ICT in teaching. So, research experiences and knowledge. So, yung paano nyo sasagutan to is pag binasa nyo to. Nalagay nyo yung sagot nyo dyan. So, that's a pre-examination. All right. Let us proceed to the research experiences and knowledge. After knowing in-text and reference citation, you are now ready to write your related literature. Okay, but writing literature review is not an easy task because on this part of research, you are going to search for studies similar or related to your work. It requires your time and your commitment. From those literatures, you will draw connection in order to provide background on the issue. You are going to investigate and set gap that will be the relevance of your study. However, you need to familiarize yourself first to the guidelines in doing literature review. This lesson will acquaint you with the process in coming up a worthwhile literature review. The misadventures of Bok and Nonoy. Stop it! Who told you to play? Make your literature review. I am doing my study. It's about online addiction. Literature review provides background of the research. Bok, on the other hand, instead of reading studies related to the research, opted to have concrete experience of the research topic. Having a direct experience is good, but of course you need to have a literature review that provides background of the research. Bok, on the other hand, instead of reading studies related to their research, opted to have concrete experience of their research topic. Having a direct experience is good, but of course you need to read other researchers in order to understand their claims and findings. Now we are going to deal with the guidelines on how to make literature review. According to Morgan Rallis 2018, there are guidelines that researchers need to ponder in crafting their literature review. Number one, identify your variables. This is to determine what are your variables in your research. In short, you should know your topic by Minch 2018. For example, your research title is like this. Example, live experiences of PWD students engage community services in a rural area. What are your variables here? Or simply, what is your topic all about? If you will be labeling it, you will come up with this result. It can be PWD students, or B, PWD students and community services, C, PWD students in a rural area, D, PWD engaged in community services. So you can search for literatures, journal articles, published articles from credible websites, magazines, newspapers related to the following. The question is, how many literatures are you going to search and what is the time frame? Some schools require 10 to 20 literatures conducted within 5 years. Some just acknowledge 10 from credible and scientific sources. Nonetheless, because the research you are conducting is a novice research with the aim just for research appreciation, 10 literatures from scientific sources are enough. So use online or library sources. Literature review requires reading. If there is a nearby school or public libraries, you can go there to read their books related to your study. However, if there is none related to your study in your public library, then internet is the best way to do it. It is just one click away, like Google Scholar, ResearchGate.com, Elsevier.com, ProQuest.com, EricEd.com, and Springer.com. Next is analyzing the literature. On this part of literature review, you need to analyze what you have read. It requires you to evaluate the findings of the research. You just need to identify what the literature has to say on the variable that you have considered. For example, these are the variables community involvement of PWD. The study of Fernandez about community involvement of PWD found that there are PWD in NCR who are involved in community services. Most of them are involved in outreach activities such as education and psychological help. Despite their physical situation, they positively perform their duties as volunteers. PWD students' involvement in school services. The study of Fernandez about PWD students' involvement to school services found that students with physical difficulties do not usually participate in school-related services. It is because they are afraid to be rejected by students without physical challenges. So, number 4, summarizing what you read by highlighting important things. On this part, you need to summarize the literature you read. There are many ways of summarizing it. However, you can consider my way of summarizing literature through tables. So, ito. Ginawa nyo kanina, ang tawag natin dito ay tabular method. Summarize nyo siya, give the title, indicate the title of the research you have read, who's the author, list the author or authors of the study or article. Year, put the year it was published or finished if it is unpublished. For the type, indicate whether it is a book, a journal, article, online sources, thesis, or dissertation. For publication, indicate the name, publisher, if it's a book, website, if it is an online sources, name of the journal or the institution it was made. So findings, write the findings if it is a study or important claim if it is an article. Write the conclusion for the conclusion if it is a study or implication if it is an article. So ganyan siya. Provide information in the table. Use the research abstract below as your source. Write your answers on your notebook. So, this is, again, gawa kayo sa notebook nito ng title, author, year, type, publication, findings, and conclusion. And ito yon. Dito kayo hanap ng sagot. Nemo.cod non-hobbit. The live experience of senior high school teachers teaching practical research subjects by Leonilo B. Capulso, a MAED, and an MRS. And Arnel T. Sikat, PhD, year 2017, e-proceeding of the social science research. This is the abstract. The fourth industrial revolution in education and the K-12 curriculum require teachers to be facilitators of learning in developing and enhancing students' competencies, centered on collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking skills. However, teachers' lack of expertise in teaching research subjects led the researcher to conduct this phenomenological study which explored on the live experiences of senior high school teachers teaching practical research subjects. Using face-to-face interview, 4 themes were identified as challenges encountered by the teachers, namely students' low aptitude on the subject, low moral or lack of motivation, scarcity of teaching resources, and teachers' lack of expertise in the subject matter. As a coping mechanism, the following themes were identified: mentoring from peers, colleagues, time management, resourcefulness, and professional development. Using Colysis data analysis, the researcher recommended the need of course rationalization or alignment, need for more mentoring, modeling, and research enhancement. That would be all. If you answered it correctly, you may submit your output through your practical research notebook. Prepare for your quiz. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.